so glad that you are here watching my video. And if you are returning, I am so completely grateful for that. I feel like my following is starting to increase, and every day that I see a new subscriber, I get so excited over that. So I hope that my channel will continue to grow. It really does mean a lot. If this is your first time on my channel, my name is Jessica, and I am the owner and operator of Roundtown Candle Co. I am a hand-poured soy wax candle business in a little town in Ohio. The purpose of this channel I started is sort of a way for me to kind of track my progress through this, and also so that hopefully maybe I can offer some help or just entertainment value to anyone who might be thinking about starting a business, or maybe you already have and you're on your way with your journey. And it's always nice to kind of just compare with yourself with other little businesses and see how people are doing their thing. And sometimes it's nice because you can learn a little bit from each other. So anyways, that's the purpose, that's why I'm here. And today's video is going to be about what I would consider to be the most challenging aspect of starting a small business. So obviously there are challenges and learning curves the entire way. At least for me, there have been. As always, this video is my opinion. You may agree or disagree, but this is just how I feel about it. So for me personally, the hardest part, hands down, has been pricing. How do you price your product? So, I think that we get into this thing where we'll go to a store, we'll pick up an item that we see that we like, and we'll look at it, look at the price tag, and we'll be like, oh yeah, great, or, maybe not this time, or, oh, never, but you don't really think so much about it. You don't pick up the product and look at it and think, well, I wonder what it costs to make this. I wonder how much the markup is. I wonder, if I can get this somewhere else for a different price, or I wonder if I tried to make this item myself. So we just don't really tend to think about it. And really, when you go shopping for something that you want, a pleasure item such as a candle or, a book or something, clothing or whatever, things that bring joy to you, I feel like we're even a little bit more, I don't know if I want to say relaxed, but we just don't think about it too much. I mean, if you've got in your mind that you want something for yourself and you go in and you find that thing and you look at it and you look at the price, you might be like, I can swing it for this because this is something I've really been wanting and looking forward to. And so, here you go. So, but when you're on the flip side of it, when you are the business owner and you are responsible for pricing your product, it's like a whole different ball game. So this is my personal opinion. This is the way that I have gone through my, I guess you call it, journey of learning this and pricing my products and things like that. So this is all just my perspective. And as I always say, I would be super interested in the comments if you have an opinion, agree or disagree, or maybe what your process is for pricing your products. So when I started out my journey, and this is even before I even started actually selling or even getting close to the point of selling. This was like in the very beginning stages when I just started practicing with making candles and kind of trying to get like a formula together where I felt that, I was producing a good candle. So what I started to do is I started to look at other small soy wax candle businesses kind of in and around my area, maybe surrounding counties, things like that. And I purchased some other candles. And then I looked at people even out of state. And the reason I started in is because obviously I don't know I know that pricing for products is higher in other states than it is where I'm at and things like that. So I understand it's not always going to be like in the same kind of, demographic as far as that goes. So I started pretty local so that I could get a good idea of comparing my product, what I was creating, to some of what these other businesses had and kind of see where their price points are and different things, because I think it's important to see what your competition is at as far as pricing, because you don't want to be so much higher or so much lower. It's a good idea to sort of look at your direct competition or the people that are, somewhat near where your location, and see their product and kind of see how they work and how they do their things and how they ship and what they offer. Not so much because you want to exactly copy them, but it just is a good little guideline to kind of go by, because like I said, you don't want to be way off the charts one way or the other. So what I found as I was looking around is that when I had started out, I pretty much had a pretty good idea of where I wanted to price my product. And as I got to looking, I saw that there were a lot of competitors who were within that range, and they might be a couple dollars either way, but for the most part, I felt like the price that I had chosen for my product was pretty reasonable in comparison to other like candle makers. But then occasionally I would see some that were like way low. And so what would happen is I'm sitting here thinking like, oh my goodness, okay, so for example, I don't know, I've been cleaning and organizing my 8-ounce jar candle. My 8-ounce jar candle, I charge $18 for that candle. And like I said, I've seen a lot of other like businesses that charge around the same. They might be 18. I've seen some that are 20. I've seen some that are 16, 17. So I know that like I'm in a pretty good range with that. But I see some that are like $8. And that's okay. Everyone can do it how they want to do it. I'm not saying that they are wrong and I am right. Please don't ever take it like that. I'm just simply saying that's a pretty big difference from where I'm at. So in the beginning, I start to panic. Oh my goodness, am I too high? Are people going to think my price is outrageous? And you do that kind of back and forth. And I think that's really common to do that because you don't want to seem outrageous, but you don't want to sell yourself short. I see some just scrolling through Etsy and things like that, when I'm kind of looking just to see where things are and different products people have and all that. And I see some that are so low. And I'm thinking, how can you do that? Even if you are buying your supplies in crazy bulk, which I try to buy a decent amount of product at a time to get, a better rate. But I mean, unless these people are buying like warehouses full, I don't understand how they can really truly be making money. And it can be scary to have an 8-ounce candle and ask $18 for it. It's not easy sometimes because there are going to be people who are just like, oh my gosh, this is outrageous. I could make this candle, or this is insane, or I could get, I can buy a candle twice the size of that at Walmart for, $8 or whatever. So you're afraid because you just don't want to hear people say those things. But here is the point of why I think it is important to price higher. Don't be afraid to do that. And here's some of the reasons. Number one, you don't want to work for free. You don't want to just take your materials cost and then put just a sliver of profit on that and then have that be it. Yeah, maybe you're going to sell 2 or 3 times as many as the person who, has their candle for $18, but look how hard you're working and you're not making money yourself. Like, it's important to make money for yourself, for your time and all the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into it. You want to make money off of that. You want to be able to put money in your pocket. Second of all, the problem that I see with this, and this is why I chose to go at somewhat of a higher price point on mine, is because if you get into where you are so close to the actual cost of what it is to make that candle, then you really sell yourself short when it comes to being able to offer sales and promotions and things like that. So how can you do a buy one get one free, or how can you do a 30 or 40% off everything in the store? How can you do any kind of sales or promotions when you barely have any profit margin to begin with. So by pricing up, again, it gives you that flexibility that you can run specials. You can have rewards, customer rewards programs and things like that, so that you are able to keep things to where, just like you or I, anybody, when we go shopping, we love a good sale. We love a special. We love when you buy something and then you get a little something maybe for free. So by making sure that your pricing is not so low, you give yourself room to do those kinds of things for your customers. And probably, let's see, I think there was something else I was thinking about as well when it comes to that. And I just lost my train of thought. That and what else was it? It'll come to me. But the point is, wholesale. If you decide that you want to sell your product in somebody else's store, typically the way that works is, say that I sell the candle for $18, then if I put my candle in a store, I'm going to sell my candle to that store owner for half of the price. That's typically the way it goes. So I would sell my candle to the store owner for $9 a candle. They charge $18 for the candle, so they get to make $9 off of it. That's their profit for having it in their store and for essentially doing the work for me as far as selling it goes. So again, when you put your price down so low, as I've seen some really low, then you're taking away the ability to do those things. You're taking away the ability to earn a good living off of it. You're taking away the ability to offer sales and promotions and fantastic little treats for your customers, and also taken away from the ability to make a good profit from a wholesale deal. So I guess my advice on this from my perspective is, don't sell yourself short. Don't be afraid to make money, and do not be afraid to have a person say something about the price of your product. Oh, this is just too much. And all you have to say is, okay, well, I understand that that's how you feel about it. I totally get that. There are other candle makers. There's other places you can buy candles. We all know that. It's okay. If you don't want to buy mine, that's okay. I'm fine with that. I know that not everybody's going to buy my candles. But what I have found is the people who do buy them love them. They appreciate it. They can see. They know that I'm hand pouring these candles. They know the testing that goes into it. I have beautiful packaging that when someone gets candles from me, I do all my own labels. Well, almost all. 99% of my labels I do myself. So things like that. So there's special touches, and I'll do a video sometime to show kind of how I package up my candles and the things that I include in the orders when I get orders ready. So that'll be another video. But by going above and beyond, letting people know my story of why I am so passionate about the soy wax candle. For those of you who might be new on here and you haven't watched my previous videos, I love candles, but for years I couldn't burn them because they always made me feel sick. Like as soon as I would burn a candle, instant headache. And so I just never burnt, like I have the whole cabinet full of candles that I've never been able to burn. So then I discovered the soy wax, the clean fragrances, the cotton wicks. I can burn these candles all day long and it doesn't bother me. So I'm super passionate about that, and I let people know that. And I've had so many people come to me and say, I've never been able to burn candles either, but I can burn these candles. So I think people feel that, they see that, they see the value in the product, and they don't just look at it as just a candle. They can see everything that's behind it, and it makes it worth that $18 that I'm asking. So that is where I feel about the pricing. Now, yeah, again, you can go to Walmart and you can buy a candle that's twice as big. That's not the same candle, though. It's not the same candle. For one, very seldom do I see soy candles and clean fragrances in stores. So that's not the same candle. But even if there is, that candle is being made in a factory on an assembly line, mass produced. They probably buy their wax and fragrance by the semi-load. that's why their price is lower. That's what they've got. You know, I'm over here, I'm one person building a business, little step at a time, in my little candle studio here. So it's not apples and apples that we're comparing. So don't feel like you have to have that in your mind. You are worth a lot more than what you give yourself credit for sometimes. So don't sell yourself short. It's okay to make money. That's what everybody wants to do. And if anybody goes to work all day long for free or almost free, then I don't know. I mean, no one does that. You don't go to work to barely get enough money to get by. You go to work and you work hard to get money and pay your bills and have money left over to enjoy things in your life. At least that's what we try to do. So the same thing is going on here. You know, I am trying to make a profit, and I do make a profit on my candles. And if somebody doesn't want to purchase a candle because they don't want me to earn a living from it, then that's okay. 100% their choice, and I'm not mad about it. But just don't sell yourself short. So that's kind of been my experience with how I've been pricing my candles. Like I said, check other candle makers around you and see. I mean, there will obviously be a range. There's going to be, you know, high side, low side, but kind of see where the majority lies, and then buy from your competitors. Buy from your competitors and see what their materials are like, how they package, what their jars and labels and those things are like. See where the value is, and that can really help to guide you along in your journey. And I even bought candles from people out of state just because I followed people and I saw, you know, I followed some people on YouTube and saw their product and really liked the way, you know, the message behind it. And so I would purchase their candles. And if you're ever going to do that, whether it's locally or out of state or wherever, if you're ever going to do that, I also recommend leaving a good review, unless it's like a total crap product, which it's probably not. But make sure that when you purchase from someone, even from a competitor, just leave a good review, because that's really important. As you know, if you're a small business owner, you're trying to make your small business grow, word of mouth is huge. We are tiny little businesses. We don't have this gigantic advertising and marketing campaign and, you know, a whole crew of people working for us. So majority of the time we're doing everything ourselves, and it can be really hard. So I would always recommend that if you are chatting with somebody on YouTube or purchasing a candle from another shop or whatever, you know, always make sure you leave good feedback, because that's important. That's how we grow. So, all right, that is it for now. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your week, and I will see you next week.